Kick is a dumpster fire that needs to get taken off the face of the earth right now. Let's get that out of the way. I think everybody by this point should know that. Today, we're going to be talking about a guy who ended up dying on a Kick stream, whose name was Rafael Graven. Now, the actual details around this stream are very well known by now, and they're all over the internet, but I wanted to give my little take on it. This wasn't just a stream. It was a public spectacle of degradation and humiliation and abuse that went on for months, all while Kick basically just turned their back on it and was like, okay, yeah, like, do whatever you want, we don't care. The story of Rafael Graven, known online as John Parmavone, is about a man whose suffering was used as content by some low-life, dirty scoundrels that crawl the face of the earth. His death, live on stream on August 18th, 2025, is what pushed Kick to its absolute limit on what it should allow on its platform. This single broadcast ignited international outrage and exposed the dark truth behind what actually is allowed on Kick. This is where the line between edgy content and actual criminal offenses is non-existent. They're one and the same on Kick. Anybody just does whatever they want, and there's no kind of punishment for it, it seems. This is the story of the stream that should have banned Kick forever. So how could a man die on a broadcast after months of abuse that people had been watching? First of all, it was hosted on Kick.com, as I assume you know by the title and the intro to this video. When Kick launched back in 2022, it was trying to rival Twitch, and to do that, they kind of lowered their moderation on what was or wasn't allowed on their platform. Their sales pitch was very tempting: freedom, creative freedom. You could post whatever you wanted on there. And what was even more tempting was the financial split, where Kick only took 5% of your revenue. This promise of a creator-first utopia was first put out by Stake.com. That connection should have been a huge red flag from day one of launching this site. The platform was built on an unsteady foundation of risk, both financially and ethically. It immediately attracted a wave of controversial creators such as Aiden Ross and Ice Poseidon, who saw a massive opportunity in a space with a lot less moderation and restriction. Kick had took on the motto of the Wild West, where anything goes. And for a time it worked. Viewership grew, the platform was booming, and a lot of people were hopping on this train because, like I said, the financial split was really good. There was very little to any content moderation. But an absence of rules doesn't foster freedom. It fosters chaos and destruction. And in this new, unregulated territory, an unfortunate 46-year-old man named Rafael Graven would be the ultimate casualty. At the center of this was Rafael Graven, who went online as John Parmavone. His channel revolved around extreme challenges that he did with his two co-streamers, Naruto and Safin Hamadi. Their channel was built on a premise that blurred the lines between dark humor, reality TV, and what can only be described as literal torture. And this wasn't like some hidden secret that they did. That was the whole point of what they did. That was what they wanted people to see. It was the product they were trying to sell, and viewers tuned in to see this. It was a feedback loop of cruelty where online engagement had real-world criminal consequences on innocent people. The more extreme the abuse, the more the channel grew, creating this horrible, awful incentive to keep doing the horrific things they were already doing. The footage that's out there is a horrible catalog of the awful things that they've done. In the clips that went viral after Graven's death, you can see videos of him being strangled, slapped. He was shot with paintball guns and kicked while he was on the ground. This was a slow, horrible, systematic breakdown of a human being, all captured on video for likes and clicks. The fact that this was allowed to be streamed on Kick for months is a horrible failure of platform responsibility. You as a platform have the responsibility to moderate what is allowed there, and to allow such cruel things as literal human abuse on your channel is disgusting behavior. The warnings were there, the red flags were there, and yet you as a platform let it go on until it unfortunately hit a point of no return. The final stream was a marathon, a non-stop live stream that had been going on for almost 300 hours. On the night of August 17th and the morning of the 18th, thousands of viewers were watching as the stream would take a tragic an unrecoverable turn. The stream ended up being cut short after Graven's co-streamer found him unconscious on his bed. He was dead. 46, Rafael Graven's life ended right where it had been the past few months, on camera being tormented. An official investigation was launched immediately into the cause of Graven's death. An autopsy was performed and the initial findings added another level of complexity to the already messed up situation. The prosecutor stated that the cause of death was not a direct form of physical trauma caused from an assault. The prosecutor ended up ordering more medical and toxicological tests to be done on Graven's body, and it was noted that he had pre-existing heart conditions. But to be dumb enough to say that his death was not connected to the months of abuse he had endured from his two co-streamers is a flat-out lie and a disregard to basic human biology. Months of non-stop violence, sleep deprivation, and torture tend to have a pretty big physical impact on the body. While one single punch probably wasn't the cause of his death, months of this torture and the accumulation of hundreds of punches and kickings and beatings, the backlash in France and the world was immediate and furious. The hashtag Justice for John Parmavone was trending immediately. Kick put out a statement offering condolences on the person who passed, banned the two co-streamers, and promised to do everything they could to get this resolved. But for critics and myself involved, it is way too late for that. This tragedy didn't happen in a vacuum. It was a direct, predictable result that happened from the lack of Kick's moderation on its platform. This is the same platform that's already been criticized for having its hands-off approach to its streamers. A culture where the most extreme, dangerous, and downright dumbfounded content is not only allowed, but promoted for views. John Parmavone's death is the ultimate tragic lesson and the failure of Kick's creator freedom philosophy. The platform's entire culture, from its ties with insane online crypto gambling that everybody does, to allowing the most downright horrendous things to happen on it with no repercussions. So while a specific broadcast didn't end this man's life, it's the unfiltered, unmoderated system of depravity that is to blame. The question isn't if Kick's model is dangerous. The death of Rafael Graven answered that in the most permanent way possible. The question now is, what is it going to take to stop it?